Icy slave patrols. Jasmine Crockett warns Supreme Court just set dangerous precedent. It is important to note that Representative Crockett has been a vocal critic of the Supreme Court for some time, particularly concerning its recent rulings on issues that she believes have eroded established legal principles and precedents. She is a co-chair of the Court Reform Now Task Force, which advocates for changes to the court system. The most recent and significant Supreme Court decision that Representative Crockett has publicly condemned as a dangerous precedent is the ruling on presidential immunity. This case, Trump v. United States, involved President Donald Trump's claim that he was immune from criminal prosecution for actions he took while in office. In a statement issued following the Supreme Court's decision, Congresswoman Crockett expressed her grave concerns. She argued that the ruling effectively gives a president, particularly a former president, too much power and could allow them to act with impunity. She said that the decision clears the way for a U.S. president to weaponize our executive agencies, weaponize his vice president, weaponize our military, weaponize state-level officials, and weaponize federal law enforcement officers, without any fear of criminal prosecution. Representative Crockett views this ruling as a direct contradiction of the principle of equal justice under law, which is etched above the Supreme Court's entrance. She has argued that the decision creates a two-tiered system of justice, where a president is held to a different standard than ordinary citizens. Crockett is not alone in her criticism. President Joe Biden also spoke out against the ruling, warning that it sets a dangerous precedent that could be exploited by future presidents. However, Crockett's comments often go a step further, placing the ruling in the context of what she sees as a long-term erosion of judicial norms and precedents by the current conservative majority on the court. This is not the first time she has expressed similar concerns. Last year, she and other Democratic lawmakers introduced the Freedom to Decide resolution in response to a lower court's decision to ban the abortion pill mifepristone. She argued at the time that the court's actions set a dangerous precedent for a court to overturn the FDA, a federal agency with the authority to approve medications. In her view, both of these rulings represent a judicial overreach into the executive and administrative functions of the government. Furthermore, Representative Crockett has also spoken out against the Supreme Court regarding ethical issues. She has repeatedly called for Justice Samuel Alito to recuse himself from cases involving President Donald Trump, particularly after a reported phone call between them. She has argued that such actions damage the public's trust in the court and its integrity. In summary, when Jasmine Crockett warns of a dangerous precedent, she is often referring to the Supreme Court's decisions on issues like presidential immunity and the regulation of federal agencies. Her core argument is that these rulings are not just isolated legal decisions, but are part of a broader trend by the court's conservative majority to consolidate power and undermine established legal principles, which she believes poses a significant threat to American democracy and the concept of equal justice.